All right, it says we're live. So let's get the link out. Let everyone know real quick. Sorry about the little delay here, guys. All right, the link is there. I'm back here. That looks promising. Let's get the game pulled up. Here we go. All righty. So we're ready for the Coach of the Year finale. The home team is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. Visiting are the Philadelphia Eagles. As we see who wins the 2020 COY championship between these two teams. There's the opening kick. Down to the goal line. Taken there by Brandon Wilson of Cincinnati. We'll see what Jeff wants to do on that. He's got a good kicker. He's going to bring it out and a pretty good return. 26 yards on a roll of 4. And the Cincinnati Bengals will start the opening possession of this COY championship at their own 26-yard line. Harlan, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, Tim?
Oh, pretty good. Appreciate you popping in. Always good to see you, buddy.
Should be a good matchup.
Yeah, it should be. It's funny. Like the Super Bowl's over, and it's like I still wanted more. And so this is it, man. I'm excited about this game. I've been looking forward to it. Little 3-yard run for Mixon.
These teams played once in the regular season, and Philadelphia won 14-9.
Wow, defensive struggle last time, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see who that was. Avonte Maddox got hurt. Good time to check not just that, but any other injuries. Let me grab my mouse here. Come on. Just kind of curious so we can get the picture on that. So in addition, Avonte Maddox is going to miss the first half. Boston Scott, we were already aware of. He'll be out. So Bruce comes into this game definitely short in his backfield. Let me take a look for Avonte Maddox here. Give me a second.
I saw it. The place we're looking for. Citizens of Snowpiercer. Where are the war? I'm asking you to choose between the train we know and the dream we don't. Snowpiercer, only Mondays at 9 on TNT. And watch anytime on demand and from the TNT app.
Looks like he is a 0-rated defensive back.
Yeah, sorry, my son interrupted me. I had to talk to him for just a second there. He just got back with dinner for my little girl, so that took longer. So I appreciate the look up on us there. And so 3rd and 5 now. Cincinnati at their own 31. I haven't had a chance really to scout the cards like I normally do, so I need to look at that. I remember from earlier in the year on a broadcast, I know Cincinnati, I think, struggles defensively. I think both of them have a pretty poor pass defense, if I'm not mistaken. Harlan, does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right. And Cincinnati's got not a great run defense. I think they gave up an average of 5 yards a carry during the regular season.
Wow, yeah, you're absolutely right. 7
it's going to be interesting, the
game.
Miles Sanders matchup against Cincinnati's defense. See, Sanders is averaging over 11 yards a carry in the COY playoffs so far.
And, Bruce is going to have to, manage judiciously his carries without Boston Scott in there. On 4th and 5, quick punt by the Bengals. Inside the 20-yard line. Setting up for return is Greg Ward. A 6-yard return out to the 23. Eagles on their first position. We'll start there. So no first downs for the Bengals. Eagles get their first shot. Here in the Coach of the Year Championship, for those who may not be aware, or for anybody watching outside this league, our stock league just finished our Super Bowl. The whole season is over, but we also have a secondary tournament we like to have. I think you could best compare it to the NIT as it relates to the Field of 64 tournament in college basketball. So our Coach of the Year tournament, your first eligibility is that you can't be in the playoffs. So if you make the main playoffs and fighting for the Super Bowl, you're ineligible. But any team in our league that does not make the playoffs and ends up with a record better than their real team from that season gets invited to this Coach of the Year tournament after the season, and we play that out to see who wins that.
Did you see the injury that just happened?
Oh, no, Miles Sanders, I did not. And he's out for the game. Boston Scott is out for the game. And now I've got to break out the deck. Isn't it just Corey Clement?
Corey Clement, I think, yeah.
Oh, my word. So Corey Clement, that's 244 carries that's hurt here. Corey Clement has 21 on his card. 21 carries at a 3.6 average with a longest run of 7 yards. And that's going to be a tough road to hoe, Harlan.
He's going to have to hope Wentz doesn't turn the ball over too much, which he's prone to do if you can sit back and play pass, which obviously you can't do if Sanders is in there or even Scott.
Oh, boy. The only thing worse than having Carson Wentz as your quarterback is Carson Wentz as your quarterback when they know you got to throw.
Right.
Oh, I just feel so sorry for Bruce. Well, I remember once winning a game with Brody Croyle. These things can be done. It's the championship game, and he's doing what you got to do, which is pick up, accept it, and move on.
Well, I think you can get
Anthony here too.
You can get running yards off of Cincy's defense, I think. So.
Well, we're not sure if you heard Anthony, but what did I just do there?
Yeah,
that was odd. Did I lose the game? Oh, I know. I need to do that. Where's my share? I think my share screen.
I'm getting a lot of background noise.
There we go. All right, now can you see everything? So Anthony, Anthony Harlan, can you all see the game just fine right now?
Yep, I can see it.
Super. So Anthony, I'm not sure, you probably missed it. Maybe you did, but Boston Scott out for this game, and now Miles Sanders just got hurt.
Yes, I saw.
Bruce, oh my word. He's got a tough road to hoe here. Carson Wentz on a run, not surprisingly, and a good one. 5 yards on a line buck.
They don't call it Coach of the Year for nothing.
That's right. We stack the deck against you and say good luck.
Bruce will have to earn it.
Too bad that extra game doesn't carry over to next year.
Right.
Says the Cowboys head coach. Off tackle here to Corey Clement. And there's a good run. Says 6, but it cut him off at 4. So a containment effort holds that to 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
And Jalen Hurts doesn't bring anything in terms of running card, by the way. I mean, I'm sure you're going to check it sooner or later if you haven't already, Tim. But there's nothing special there. The line buck is normal,
Wow.
So, unfortunately, I don't know how many line bucks you get with Carson Wentz until fatigue kicks in. Good question.
2nd and 6, the defense was guessing run. And probably only a few run calls I think you could expect maybe in this game, but he got one there, and it was a pass but incomplete, so an opportunity missed there for Wentz, 3rd and 6. Third and 6, he's back to pass, but he is brought down. Sack on the play. Looked like that came from the line. Sam Hubbard, indeed. Loss of 4, and it's 4th and 10. The Eagles are going to have to punt. So they pick up a couple first downs, but both teams not making much hay on their opening drive. And I know Harlan referred to a defensive battle the first time. We might be in line for that again here tonight, and I think that'd probably be just fine with Bruce based on his running back situation.
Oh, look at that. Fumble.
We've got a punt that fumbled. It's a muff, and it's on the ground. Looks like it's recovered by Cincinnati. So as long as he wants to fall on that, I think Jeff's going to retain possession here.
Yeah, Miles Sanders was, like I said, averaging over 11 yards a carry in the COY tournament so far. coming into this game.
Wow.
That's a huge loss.
Yeah, that really is a huge loss. No doubt about it.
I think he had a couple long touchdown runs. I know he had a 61-yard touchdown run against Dallas.
Oh, I think you're right. I think he had a long
And he had
run
a
in both of those games.
71-yard touchdown run against Atlanta.
Yeah. And you know, in a game he only won 17-15. In fact, worthy of mention, both of these teams made this final by winning their semifinal games by the exact same score, 17-15. 2nd and 6 penalty here, holding on the offense, back him up. And the Bengals 2nd and 16 on the 14. Anthony, what do you think is the handicap on this game now? What's your line knowing the injury situation for the Eagles? Maybe Anthony's not there. I think I'd put that at like minus 13 or something. It's that big of a hill. What do you think, Harlan?
13. That's pretty big
steep.
Spread. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far.
It's not. My concern isn't that he doesn't have a good running back. My concern is that he doesn't have any carries.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not as familiar with the rules, I guess, but like with the one running backs available that only had, what did I say, like 9 carries? I mean, is he going to be fatigued after just,
what would happen if Clement would get hurt?
See, I may be wrong. I thought you couldn't injure your last player at a position.
That would make sense.
But maybe that's fatigue I'm confusing it with, to be honest with you, now that I'm thinking about it. After a 3-yard pass to Tyler Boyd, we've got a 2nd and 11 at the 19. Bengals operating out of 3 wide receiver. And it's going to be a pitch out into a pass defense. Giovanni Bernard going to try to hit the corner. And pretty nice pickup on 2nd and 11. That's 7 yards. And it'll set up a pretty manageable 3rd and 4 at the 26. So a nice recovery after the holding call there for Jeff and the Bengals.
Is this considered a neutral site game or a home game for Cincinnati?
So I believe that as far as the rules are considered, it's a home game for Cincinnati. Okay. Yeah.
I'll give them a 9-point spread then.
9-point spread?
Just because Sanders is out. Otherwise, it's...
Yeah. Oh, of course. Definitely a big impact. Big 3rd and 4. It's going to be a quick slant over the middle. There's 2 linebackers there, so Jeff wanting to get it on the quarterback card, and he does. Opportunity here. Got half of it on the catch. Let's see if the yardage after doesn't get it, and it doesn't. So he got 2 yards automatically, but Drew Sample got 0 on the yak, and that sets up 4th and 2. Sample couldn't get it done, and it's going to be a punt. Huber with a nice one. 56 yards. That's down to the 16-yard line. I believe Greg Ward will take that. And same as last time, 6-yard return out to the 22. Harlan, how close were your games against Philadelphia this year? I'm trying to remember.
The first one was kind of they blew me out. I think I maybe came back within 14 points. The second game I won, but it was on a field goal at the end of the game. So It was a 3-point game. And then obviously the COY, we played in the COY semis, and I got an early lead, but then Sanders was going crazy and I couldn't do anything. So he beat me by, I think it was 41-17 or something like that.
Wow, that's a big score.
The first game was 37-17 that I lost. I was down 31-10 at the half. 37-17 was the final. In the second game, Dallas won 29-26.
Huh.
But Bruce usually isn't afraid to go long because he knows people have to respect Sanders and bring up the free safety. This
changes it all together.
The whole complexion of how he has to look at his offense.
Yeah, that's why I had such a heavy line. It just changes everything. Your defense has to be so perfect now.
Yeah, Wentz is prone to turnovers. There's no doubt about that.
And that's when he has a running game to keep defenses honest. Here's a 3rd and 9, and right on cue, Cincinnati's dropping back into the dime. Ertz will be back there beside Wentz in the shotgun. The defense is going to double team Dallas Goedert, but it's a short pass to Jalen Reagor, and he's got it. That's a 14-yard completion. Jalen Reagor taking advantage of the receiver result on his card. Hit number 9, got 14 yards, and they're out to the 37.
Can you guys hear me by chance?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
Certainly
sorry,
can.
I had it muted on my side. Just wanted to make
No
sure.
problem.
Here's another quick slant over the middle. This one to Richard Rogers. And here's a yak opportunity for Rogers. Total of 5 yards, 3 on the catch, 2 on the yards after. So cut that down in distance in half. It's 2nd and 5. Philly at their own 42. Anthony, you still there? Doesn't sound like it.
Yes.
We were discussing the line on this game after the injury, knowing Clement has so few carries. How many carries does he get for Clement before he goes into fatigue, Anthony?
His usual amount, which I think is 10 or 11, whatever that min is, 10, 11, 12. I forget.
Okay, yeah, I thought there was a base limit, a minimum limit before you hit that fatigue. So even with just a few carries, he has some to work
if
with.
you hover over him, I'll tell you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
8 left.
Right. Yep, 8 left. So that's first fatigue. So that allows you to keep honest a little bit, but boy, you've got to be so judicious with those carries, working those sneaks.
Yeah, I would save him if you can. Run
Successful double team here, incomplete. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree with running the quarterback actually, and it's not a bad move. And you can, Hurts is going to give you some end runs too. So I mean, you do get that from him. You can run pistol with Hurts, and he's got short gain on 6 and 8, a gain of 5. You can see the card there. So Jalen Hurts becomes an option here at some point.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good point. Like, regardless of how the game is going, if you're switching quarterbacks halfway, you're just adding more carries. Here's a nice run for Carson Wentz. Just as we were talking about replacing him, he rolls out with a 10-yard run on 2nd and 10.
How many end runs does he get before he hits a fatigue?
Great question.
I had no idea Carson Wentz end run card looks that good. A couple of short gains. He's got a plus 24 on Snake Eyes and takes his team across midfield here. 1st and 10.
Can you hover over him once and see how many end runs he gets?
Sure, thank you.
Oh, one more.
End run until
I
limit.
assume Hurts carries more than that. But that's a really nice strategy to go 4 wide. I'm sorry, not 4 wide, 2 tight end. If he can get Rodgers, Ertz, so I'm trying to say is get Rodgers, Ertz, and Goddard on the field with 2 receivers, and just Hurts as quarterback, you're probably not going to be eliciting many guest run calls. So you can probably, get a lot of nice.
Yep, he's got dialing it deep for the first time. Deep ball to Deshaun Jackson and incomplete. Had a split roll, an opportunity 2 through 4, 11, and 12, misses it. It's going to be 2nd and 15, still near midfield.
Richard Rogers has such an effective card. It is just an incredible card on flat pass right.
Yeah, it's like, I can't remember what it was. Isn't his average like 14 or something?
It's great.
12 or something. You can see here, like, even on right, you've got a plus 16, 11, and 10 on 5, 6, and 7. Man. Got a successful double team again here, but it does go to the defensive card to pick up a 4 yards. So 3rd down and 11 at the Cincinnati 44-yard line.
Prime Richard Rogers territory here.
Absolutely.
Comes up with 10 yards, you can go for it 4th and 1.
But unfortunately, he's not in the formation here, just 1 tight end. 3 wide receivers are split out instead. I should say there is a second tight end, Zach Ertz, in the backfield. Beside Wentz in the shotgun. Defense out of the dime on 3rd and 11. Big play in this game.
The leading receiver in the regular season for the Eagles.
Goddard?
Yep. 63 catches for 633 yards.
Here's a sideline pass to Rager. He's double. There's nobody in the zone, so it converts to wrong, and he's got a 7-yard pickup. It could have been a lot better. It's not enough for a first down. We'll check the field goal range. It's going to be 4th and 4 at the 37. And from this spot, it's a 2 through 5. That's also the edge of his range. So if he loses something on the variable, that's not going to work. So he'll go for it. 4th and 4. They'll come out of the blocking back formation. Clement's now in the deep I. Jackson and Travis Fulgham split out wide. Jeff will line his Bengals up in the 3-3-5. He's got all fours across that all-important flat zone. A reality I'm very familiar with as the Chiefs coach. Here's a pitch out around the end. Corey Clement going to try to turn the corner against the pass defense, and he gets the first down. So he got a +7 on his card, but he was contained again, but it still got the 4 yards he needed. Move the chains, 1st and 10 at the 33. And if you're only going to get so many runs out of Clement, that's what you want. 4th and 4, he gets you 4 yards. Now we have Richard Rodgers in there, part of a 2 tight end formation. He's back to pass, and he's throwing into a nickel. We've got a defender roll, and it's incomplete. Pass was to Travis Fulgham. And William Jackson made the play at 2nd and 10.
Since he's running a lot of nickel this game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his normal MO, but if it isn't, it's probably a direct response into knowing that your best running backs just aren't in the neighborhood.
Definitely.
Just another ripple effect of that injury. We talked about how there's so many variations and variables that's going to touch, and one of them is you might see an entirely different formation all day. Clement ran for 3 yards on that play, and it's 3rd down and 7 at the Cincinnati 30. Now from here and in, that's a good field goal range, 2 through 9. He's going to try to get the first down, back to pass, looking short on his card, incomplete. He only has a couple of completions. 4th and 7 at the 30. It's a 2 through 9 as long as he doesn't get that variable field goal backing him up. Let's see. He lost the variable, and it is no good. Variable added 4 yards to the range, kicked it into a 2 through 5. Roll is a 10. And this game remains scoreless, and that, by the way, is the end of your first quarter. Still tied up at 0, and unless I'm mistaken, the Bengals, as they take over at their own 37-yard line, still looking for their first down of the game, just 18 yards of offense.
Could be another 17-15 game.
Like I said, Bruce is going to like a defensive battle right now. Here's a quick out to Drew Sample. 0 linebackers on the outside for the Eagles. And he's going to take advantage of that. 4-7 beats that linebacker, and it's going to be an 11-yard pickup. First down on the play. Sample with his 3rd catch, and it's 1st and 10 Cincy at their 48-yard line. Now, first down going to 3 wide receiver formation. And it's going to be a sideline pass. Once again, attacking that 0 linebacker. There's a 10-yard pickup, but there's laundry on the field. Let's see who it is on. And that's going to be a holding against the offense. So it's backing them up. Take that first down off the board, back them up 10, 1st and 20 at their own 38. Jeff made it to the final here, and his outlook is good next year as the Bengals are in the real-life final. Super Bowl Sunday next week.
It should be an interesting game. Who are you pulling for?
Oh, I guess I'm pulling for the Bengals. I don't really harbor resentment, even though they've beaten the Chiefs twice in ugly fashion. That's just kind of not the way I operate. I would hate it if it was the Patriots that did that to me or something. But, the Bengals are cuddly. Any team's cuddly when they haven't, really had much playoff success in recent history. So it's easy. And likable guys. I like Burrow. I like that coach, Taylor. And this is a team I like Mixon. I can get behind this team. So, yeah, I'm rooting for the Bengals. What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. The Bengals, I don't think have ever won a Super Bowl. I think they were in it twice in the 80s and lost to Joe Montana's 49ers both times. So
I think it was, but one of them was, I think that those 2 Super Bowls, I think they were like a decade apart even.
Yeah.
8 years apart or something like
one
that.
was the early 80s, one was late 80s.
Joe Mixon beats the linebacker for 4 yards, but yet another offensive penalty as the referees making it difficult on the Bengals on this drive, backing them up here. 2nd and 26 after that 15-yard penalty. Cincinnati back to their own 32. Early second quarter action, still scoreless here in the Coach of the Year final for the USFFL. And on 2nd and 26, 3 wide receiver formation, throwing a short pass into a nickel. A.J. Green is the target, and it's going to be a must-run opportunity here and a sack, essentially, as Joe Burrow was brought down for a 2-yard loss on double sixes. So Bengals just continuing to go in the wrong direction. It's now 3rd and 28 at their own 30. So they came into this drive not having a first down at all in the first quarter. They got 1 first down, but it's been all backwards since then. Eagles will drop into the dime. Play a little prevent here on 3rd and 28. Four wide receivers, and he's going to mix it up. We're looking at a double reverse here, and it's going to be a 4-yard loss on the play. T. Higgins, really with the down and distance they needed, he needed a long gain on snake eyes really to convert. But it is 4th and 32 after yet another negative play. So they're punting from their 26 down to the 32, fielded there yet again for Greg Ward. He'll fair catch it there. Eagles take over at their own 32.
Finally got a first down, and they went backwards after that.
Yes. Two teams have combined for 1 for 7 on 3rd down. 2 tight end formation, and Wentz is going to sneak it behind those hogs, and he's going to muscle his way for 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Wentz with his 4th carry.
I think the Eagles team will be carded a little better next year, too. You were talking about Cincinnati having next year to look forward to, but I think the Eagles, like Sanders had another decent year, and I think Jalen Hurts had a decent year.
Yeah. And also the rookie looked pretty good this year, I thought. Why can't I think of his name? Receiver.
Oh, gosh.
I want to say D. Jackson, and I know that's not right, but it seems like it's something. Well, of course, I'm maybe thinking Deshaun. What am I thinking? What is his name?
I'm going to have to look him up.
Yeah, that would be great if you did, because I'm not going to be able to focus. We have a 3rd and 3 for the Eagles at their own 39. So a big play here. Clement is the tailback in this blocking back formation, 4-3 defense. It's a quick in pass over the middle. 6th linebacker is sitting there. Zach Ertz is the target, and it's a receiver and 9-yard completion. And that's going to be a first down. Eagles up near midfield at the 48-yard line.
Talk about Devontae Smith.
Devontae. See, I knew it was a D. Yes, Devontae Smith. I thought he looked good this year, and I don't know what his stats ended up, but
64 catches, 916 yards, 14.3 yards per reception, 5 touchdowns.
And
46.
And I'm sure you can't see this on that stat line, but I'll bet that's going to be an A or a B yak too. He was pretty fleet of foot this year. Wentz hitting a 10-yard pass on his card. That's a first down to the Cincinnati 42. So give Bruce credit, all you can do when you're dealt a shit hand is fight for your life. And he's stuck in this game. He's produced more first downs than Cincinnati has. And, he's got his defense playing at the top of their game so far, and that's what he needs. Here's a quick out to the aforementioned Richard Rodgers. It's incomplete, but there's a holding call on the offense, and so scratch off that incompletion, back him up 10.
Yeah, he needs Wentz not to throw interceptions.
Really, I think that that really is it, Harlan. That's the analysis for this game. If Bruce is going to win, I don't think Carson Wentz throws 2 picks. I think he's got to keep it, 1 or less. Here's a short pass on 1st and 20. to the defensive card, and Travis Fulgham converts for 15 yards on the 6-7, beating that defender.
He seems to have a lot of snap fumbles too. I see his what is it rating 4.8. I don't know how that compares to other quarterbacks, but when I played Philadelphia over the years, it seems like he's had a fair share of snap fumbles.
Yeah, and I'm not as like you. I'm not as familiar with how that 4.8 rates against other QBs, but I'll bet it's not that good because he does fumble a lot typically. We got another short yardage situation as Carson Wentz scrambles for 3 yards to set up a 3rd and 2 at the 34. So again, the Eagles find themselves, on the fringe of field goal range, 2 through 5 from here. He needs 2 yards to jump into that 2 through 9 range. And last time down the field, he got to that range, but not far enough in to save him from a variable field goal that ended up costing him.
Might be a good play to go deep on.
You know what? I think that would be a great call. You're going to have to find your spots with this team. You still could maybe variable your way into that shorter range. I like your thinking there. Let's see what he does. Blocking back formation. Clement's in the eye. Fulgham and Deshaun Jackson split out wide. Defense in a 4-3 on 3rd and 2. Defense guesses run, and it is a short pass. He's going to go to Fulgham, and that one's incomplete. And once again, it went to the 7 on the defensive card, but the defender, William Jackson, is a 5. So previous play beat him with a 6, but a 4-7 on this play is not going to get it done. 4th and 2. And rather than try to shoot that 2 through 5 field goal with Jake Elliott, he's going to go for it here on 4th and 2 at the 34. 2 tight end formation. Goddard and Richard Rodgers are your bookends. Jalen Reagor and Travis Fulgham are split out. 4-3 defense, all 4s across the defensive front for the Bengals. Defense guesses run, and it's a pitch out to Clement, and it's on his card. That's not a good sign, and it's no gain. 0 on the play. So another drive stalls for the Eagles on the fringe of field goal range. Clement on his card on right could have converted a first down on snake eyes or 4 or 6 or 12. That's about it. So it was stacked against him. Bengals take over at their 34.
Correct double team.
That's right. First play for the Bengals, double teamed, and it's still completed to Tyler Boyd, but a holding penalty is going to mark that off, scratch it off. So once again, Bengals get a good play, but take it off the board as they get a holding penalty. And I have to tell you, Harlan, now is about the time to take a look at what that penalty advantage has been.
I was going to say, look at that.
Not as bad as I thought, but 4-3. So penalties are about even, but more than double the yardage for Cincinnati. 4 penalties for 45 total yards.
Jeff says the next guy that holds is on the bench.
He does indeed, and you gotta love in-game comedy from your coaches.
That's one thing that worries me about next year's Cowboys is they were a heavily penalized team in 2021. Yeah,
I think you'll take that trade-off based on getting the talent you're getting this year, though. I think that, obviously it didn't work out in the postseason, but that's a pretty good team. I think they'll be carded well enough that you can do some work. Here's a deep ball on 1st and 20. A.J. Green is the target, dialing it deep into a nickel D. And we have a dump pass, so he's flushed out of the pocket. And that's going to be a completion, 13 yards. 0 men is the reading in that zone because of 6 on the white dice. And so that's going to make it 2nd and 7 now. Cincinnati at their own 37. Bengals once again trying to dig out of a penalty hole. Here's an off-tackle run to Joe Mixon into a pass defense opportunity here for Mixon. And he's going to get a split roll on the defensive card and nails it. 15-yard run off tackle. Needed a 2 through 8 and 12 to convert that and did. So 1st and 10 as the Bengals cross over the midfield stripe, I believe, for the first time today. They're at the Philly 48-yard line now. 6:36 to go here in the second quarter. Still scoreless in the COY final. Now Giovanni Bernard comes in on 1st down. Part of a 2 tight end set here. That's going to be a square out pass looking at A.J. Green, and he's got it. First down and more inside the 30 down to the 18-yard line, it looks like. A pickup of 30 on the defensive card as triple sixes beats the linebacker and gets him a 30-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the 18. There's a huge injury, though. The Eagles have lost Fletcher Cox.
Come out for a while. What does that mean? Rest of the half?
They're about to find out. Rest of the half would be a blessing for the Eagles. Oh, I hit the wrong thing there. No, Fletcher Cox is out for the game. So the Eagles have just lost their main blitzer, and they've lost their 2 main running backs. So Deck just continuing to stack against the Eagles here. And worse news, the Bengals are in the red zone. Here's a quick out to Drew Sample and a fast 6 yards. Sets up a 2nd and 4 at the 12 now.
Well, if Bruce can come back and win this one, he will really have earned it with everything
no doubt
against him so far. But he can do it.
Experience counts when you've got a handicap like he's facing. Because you're going to need adaptation ability, and you're going to need a pretty good knowledge, I think, of the rules, because you're going to need to milk every advantage you can find out of your situational football. 2nd and 4, here's an off tackle to Giovanni Bernard into a pass defense, and that's going to be good for 6 yards and a first down inside the 10 down to the 6. It's 1st and goal now for the Bengals.
Fletcher Cox, of course, is a 6-rated defensive tackle with a 10 pass rush rating.
Yeah, great point. I forgot that he's so rated so well against the run, too. I was just thinking about the pass at the time. Just a great player. In fact, I think he was maybe 2nd or even maybe 1st in our league this year in sacks. I know he was in the top 3.
I can look that up.
Look at me just dropping hints all day. Full house backfield. Bengals showing run like they're going to run it in. A.J. Green is split out to the left, and it's a sneak. Burrow is going to take it up the middle. And a nice run. He powers through. Touchdown, Bengals. That was a 6 white dice, beating the linebacker in the zone for the full 6 and the score. Bengals draw first blood at 4:48 mark of the 2nd quarter. Extra point is up and through by Randy Bullock, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Bengals.
Fletcher Cox ended the season with 15 sacks. He was 2nd in the league behind Myles Garrett, who had 18 sacks.
All right. I knew he was up there because I knew it was him and Garrett and Chris Jones. I just couldn't remember the order. I knew I was 3rd, though.
Yep.
So the Eagles now, for the first time, working from behind. 5-minute offense here as it's 4:48 to go before halftime. They'll stay in their 2 tight end formation.
Hey, guys, saw that Fletcher Cox injury. Is Cincinnati running a lot of 3 wide or no?
So they've had a good blend. But they have run 3 wide. I'd say maybe, if I had to guess, 20% of the time.
Okay, all right.
It's been in their rotation for sure. 2nd and 5 now at their own 30. Here's a sneak to Wentz. And the right guard, good enough to best that 5 on the white dice and pick up a first down here. Carson Wentz doing his part to try and contribute. 7 runs, 33 yards. Anthony or Harlan, whoever can answer this, talk to me about the relationship between end runs and line bucks as it contributes to potential fatigue running for a quarterback. Is there any variable difference there?
You know what? I'm not sure. I think that you are allowed more line bucks, but it doesn't really show when you hover over it.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, and it's relative because, Anthony was, correctly, intelligently pointing out that, like if Wentz was going to be eventually starting to face fatigue too, it might be smart at some point in the second half to look at changing quarterbacks. He's sneaking Wentz here again. This will be his 9th carry. It's on a 2nd and 10. Philly at their own 36. Goes to the defensive card just like he wants and gets the roll. Short gain on a 7. It is a 16-yard run. There's a box there. It's going to stop at 16.
If you already covered this, Tim, just remind the audience, is it correct when I say that if you take once you take him out, your QB, he can't come back?
Yeah, the rule is that once you remove the quarterback, he is not able to come back in. So
Unless the other replacement gets injured, correct?
precisely. And
Yeah.
so that leads to the question, Anthony, that I was asking a little bit ago is, and hoping you could answer, what is the differential between linebucks and end run for Carson Wentz or any quarterback for that matter as it pertains to fatigue?
As it contributes to fatigue, I think what you're asking is if you run an end run, does it also decrement your overall fatigue carries? Do you get -1 for both? Is that what you're
Well, I
saying?
guess so. The just of my question is that Wentz has 10 carries, 54 yards. Amazing right now, by the way. But I'm curious at some point what all contributes to when if he becomes fatigued as a runner, and as it pertains to when it may or may not be smart to consider replacing him with Jalen Hurts for simply that reason.
Yeah, at some point it seems like he's going to have to do that. I don't know how many runs
Yeah, I don't know how
he has
the
left.
fatigue works
You
at
can
the
hover over
quarterback.
him and take a look.
It just shows run style end run limit. I don't think it shows.
You don't get any limits for the quarterback as far as linebucks are concerned. It seems. Is that what you're saying?
Jumping in real quick here, if you don't mind, guys, we are at the 2-minute warning, and on a 2nd and 5, a nice play. The aforementioned Richard Rodgers was targeted on a flat pass, and on his card hit the 10. And so, with a minute 52 to go here, Eagles on the move, fellas. 1st and 10 now at the 33-yard line.
But let me answer the question I asked, which is quarterbacks are allowed unlimited number of linebucks and must runs.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay. It unlimited line bucks and must runs, but not end runs, and that's what's covered by hovering over them. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's perfect. That answers my question. That means he can line buck this quarterback all day if he wants to. And honestly, the rate he's piling up yards, you might as well.
Well, there's a second end run.
Yep, end run, and he's going to hit that short gain again. Carson Wentz is in fuego tonight, running around like a running back here, as he's inside the 20 into the red zone and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Carson Wentz now 11 runs in the first half for 68 yards. Miles who?
Now he shows fatigue because he hit his end run limit.
Yeah, end run limit. Yep.
Yep, end run limit is reached. He's fatigued, so line buck if he wants to get the yardage with him now. But boy, at least he ended that one on a good note. Big 14-yard run puts him in great field goal range, puts him within striking distance of getting this touchdown. Free safety is going to be free here, though, now. There's a square out to Travis Fulgham. And Wentz on his card, a pretty good roll, +3 plus the yak, although unfortunately the yak's just actually going to take away a yard. A 2-yard pickup on that play, 2nd down and 8. I'm also thinking without Miles Sanders, who I know is an A, and Boston Scott, who I believe is a B. I'm wondering where the yak opportunities are for this team as I stare at Fulgham get a bad roll on that one. The aforementioned Corey Clement is just a C. Jalen Reagor's a B. So that's a good opportunity. 2nd and 8 at the 17 with a minute 22 to go. All 3 timeouts for both teams. Eagles trying to tie this up.
Interjecting here, Jalen Hurts has a snap fumble of 14.3 and a run fumble guessed wrong of 4.4.
Wow.
So better than Wentz on the run fumble, barely, but a lot worse on the snap fumble.
Let me ask you something. Corey Clement, I thought that his longest run that year was 7, but he has a +9 he just rolled on his card. Containment held it to 4, and we have a big 3rd and 4 coming up, and I'm just kind of curious why you see a +9.
Running back rule, looks like.
Well, I more meant how could you have a +9 on your card if your longest run that year was 7? I guess is kind of more what I was looking at. 3rd down and 4 at the 13, so a huge play here. 4 yards. You attack those 4 linebackers in the flat, guys. Try to get that 4. Try to catch them doing something funny and try to throw short. Guess and run, or it's going to be a run. Pitch out to Corey Clement into a pass defense. It goes to the defensive card, and he's going to get that 1st down. 5 yards. Gets out of bounds. And with 52 seconds left here, the Eagles 1st and goal at their own 8-yard line. Eagles not only marching down on the doorstep of the end zone, but he's done a really nice job of milking the clock on his way. This drive now 10 plays, 67 yards. And he's wiped off most of the 4 minutes, 48 seconds he had when they took over the possession. 2 tight end formation. Showing blitz out of the 4-3. Defense guessing pass, but it's a sneak up the middle. Carson Wentz going again, and he's got 7 yards on the defensive card as he continues to do his best Miles Sanders imitation. For 2nd and goal now at the 1 yard line. And I have a hard time picturing any scenario that we're going to see a pass here, guys. Too many turnover possibilities for Wentz. You're 1 yard away. It's only 2nd down. Up the middle 3 times in a row. That's what I would want to do. He is in the full house, it looks like. Well, or has he? Because he hasn't chosen it yet. But that's what I think we'll see.
Wentz's season high for rushing this year was 59 yards against the Cowboys in week 16.
Against you?
Yep.
Well, he's beat that. Wentz is 12 for 75 in this game.
I don't know if you raised this, but he can run full house here to get the upgrade in run blocking.
Yeah, I thought he might, but he didn't. He went to 2 tight end, and it's going to be a pitch out as well, which kind of surprises me. But Corey Clement goes to the defensive card for the touchdown. Corey Clement, end run on his card right, was probably a recipe for disaster, but he picks up the short gain, and on 2nd and goal at the 1, the Eagles are in.
That was a big drive.
A huge drive, and Elliott's about to tie this with an extra point. Let's see. It's a 2 through 10, and he drills it. And with just 8 seconds left before halftime, give him credit as Coach Mogg brings his Eagles right back and ties this game up at 7.
And I think they received to start the second half, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. I think the Eagles get the ball first. And after a kickoff, we've got 1 second left and most likely taking a knee here. And naturally, I'm wrong. 3 wide receivers going to split out. Bengals going to see what damage they can do. 3-2-6 deep dime for the Eagles. Well, he did that squib kickoff, and, there's that long gain there. Sometimes that squib can be dangerous, I mean, I guess then when you think about it, though, the kick returner has a long gain there as well. So it would have been on snake eyes either way. Here's a deep pass and incomplete. Made the attempt to A.J. Green. Nothing doing, and we've reached halftime here.
And wasn't there another game this year someone did do a squib kickoff and it hurt them? They came to,
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that sounds familiar on a level that is personal. I feel like that happened in my game, but I can't tell you which one.
Okay.
These coaches are cracking jokes. Jeff says, I hope the band plays loud to wake up the fans. Part of a 7-7 slog fest. I don't know about anybody else. I've always loved the defensive battle, though.
On that squib kick point, we've been talking about the return card. The return card for squib is not a universal chart.
Oh.
It depends on the returner. So,
oh my! I thought it was home and away, but it's returner specific, huh?
Yeah, it's returner specific. Your touchdowns turn into long gains. I think for a while we I think on the broadcast have been operating as if it's a universal chart. It's not. It refers to the kickoff returner, and it adjusts the return based on that returner.
Man, I love having people on the broadcast that know more than me. Happens pretty much every time I step up to the mic. That's actually great information. I love hearing that. I wasn't aware of that at all.
Yeah,
and it will change my thoughts on what to do.
Yep.
Bruce noting he's very fortunate to be tied at this point. I think that's fair.
So if the opponent's kick returner has a touchdown on their card, you might be better off squib kicking in that, especially late in the half situation or late in the game. And you don't want them to get into field goal range.
Sure.
And is that? I mean, I'm just asking. Does that seem right or?
You mean to kick it to him so he would be fighting for a long gain rather than the free touchdown? If that's what you said, yeah, that's how I understood what he just said. And that can be a big difference. I know in my AFC title game loss, I rolled the touchdown and got all excited, but because I was on the road, it converted to a long gain. It ended up turning into a 30-yard kick return on the worst long gain you can get. And 30 yards, not even what Pringle averaged during the year. So it was unfortunate, but that long gain can make all the difference in the world. These guys taking a short break at halftime. Let's look at the stats, guys. I'm kind of curious. What do you think? 140 yards? Well, the Eagles have 197 and 14 first downs to 5. You know, Bruce has made the comment, and I just instinctively agreed based on his injuries and the deck stacked against him that he is lucky to be tied at half. And I guess in many ways he is, but he's outgained him 197 to 108 and allowed only 5 first downs. He's avoided the turnovers. This has been a turnover-free game. And here's our second half kickoff.
I think Philly had 2 decent drives, came away empty with 1, but Cincinnati just had the 1 drive. Otherwise, they've been shut down pretty much completely.
Yeah, and 19 minutes plus of time of possession out of the 30 in the first half goes to the Eagles.
So I guess you're going to stick with Wentz until you really want your end runs back, whenever that happens, whenever you feel that way, if you're Bruce.
Probably, as I recall, like the passing differential of the card from Wentz to Hurts is comparable, but would that? I'll have to look at it here. I'm trying to remember. I thought passing-wise they were kind of comparable.
But then Anthony say Wentz is more prone. I mean, Hurts is more prone to fumble.
Yes.
I will say this though, guys. Jalen Hurts does present on short and long 4 consecutive must runs, 4 through 7, and you know. Any roll of 6 and above is 10 yards plus. So, I mean, a lot of must-run opportunity there. So, I guess looking at it right now, I would think that the right call at some point in this game would be to switch quarterbacks. But we'll see. If you're comfortable with Wentz, maybe not. Probably don't want to take him out until you get him enough yardage to get him over the century mark, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to write my post game and say that he gained 100.
Bruce might have had a bad experience with Hurts in a recent game, and maybe that's why he's not going to him right now.
That's a good point, Harlan. Sometimes past frustrations with a player will supersede what I know their cards should produce and what I decide. Yeah. So I totally relate to that.
If you feel the karma's not there, you might be hesitant to go to him.
I'm just here to tell you, if you don't think karma's a part of your game, then I don't think you're paying enough attention. There's too much karma I see in this game. There was a long pass call, but must run was the roll, so it converted. But a nice run. Carson Wentz picks up 8 on that must run as he continues to chew up yardage with his feet. That's good enough for a first down, and I think that might be Carson Wentz's 4th first down rushing. 1st and 10 Eagles at their 39. And here's a flare pass to tight end Zach Ertz. And on receiver card, Ertz is going to get a great roll. Picks up 8 yards on an 8.
So the
nice 2nd and 2.
The Hertz card gives you less interceptions for sure. So that 10 out of 1,000 increase in snap fumble is offset by, which is what, 1%, 10 out of 1,000. It is offset by lower INTs on Hertz card versus Wentz.
I suppose the biggest downside is that Jalen Hurts is not near as good as a flat quarterback.
Yes.
That's my just quick visual assessment looking at it.
That Wentz interception on flat pass, right, 2 through 5, 11, 12 is a bit scary, but Hurts has it 2 through 4 on 10, so they're about the same.
Big play coming up here.
Eagles facing a 3rd and 2 at their own 47. Wentz in the shotgun. Clement and Ertz are beside him in the backfield. Wentz has really been the story. He hasn't had a turnover yet. He's produced 83 yards on the ground for a team desperate. Here's a sneak, and Wentz is going to try to run through for the first down, and looks like containment maybe?
Yep.
Because he got stopped short, just a yard. Oh, it's fatigue, actually. So I'm confused. Anthony, weren't we saying that line buck won't hurt you on fatigue?
Yeah, I'm confused too. So the end run fatigue causes him to not have unlimited line bucks?
He's going for it, folks.
4th and 1
that's
at the 48-yard line. So a huge play early in the third quarter.
Given it such a defensive slugfest.
I bet he throws because you would think the defense would want to call run here. Bruce saying basically the same thing. Didn't realize the QB could get fatigued.
Well, it showed he was fatigued because of the end run limits, but we were thinking that wouldn't affect a line buck. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. I'm checking the rules officially here. I'm not seeing that. I'll read them again.
See, and that's why Anthony knows so much, because when I look at something and I'm confused, I don't say, I'll read it again. I say, fuck it. So,
yeah.
That kind of patience is still truly a skill, and we appreciate it. Still waiting for the 4th and 1 call by Coach Bruce Mogg here. Clement's in the deep eye for him in this blocking back formation.
He's got the right call on the linebacker in the zone.
Oh, but it went to his own card. So it was a pitch out to Corey Clement. You got to have that on the defensive card, and you didn't. He got it on a 7 on his card. It's a -7 on 4th and 1.
He had a linebacker there, didn't he? I thought on the pitch. I wonder if
I'm going to be honest. I didn't. I would defer to your judgment. I didn't see that, so I didn't catch that. I was looking at the result.
It was a pitch out right.
Here's a nice run up the middle to Samaje Perine. That's a short gain and more, as he has a couple of boxes there to boot. And Perine busts right up the middle for a 23-yard pickup.
That would have been a 6-yard gain on the defense's card, even with the linebacker there.
Wow.
Whenever you find the right moment, Tim, let me know. I'll try to explain.
Sure, absolutely. I'm excited about that. Let's get out of this red zone opportunity first. Here's a little flat pass for 3 yards, but a penalty. And that's going to be against the defense as they've encroached. 1st and 5 now at the 13. You want to sneak it in here, Anthony?
There's nothing in the rules that say that it should be affected. So I'm guessing what we have here is a computer glitch where if it sees the halo, it assumes fatigued.
When you say computer glitch, do you mean that it's doing something now that it hasn't done all season for us, or that it's a glitch as defined by the fact that the rules don't account for it, and it's probably been doing it this way all along?
All along. It's sort of like Dennis raised an injury glitch that the computer game does not. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a 1st down scramble for Joe Burrow, and it's 1st and goal at the 8. Go right ahead.
Peter would love this game with all these QB linebucks.
Yes, he would.
The
champion Peter Shibley.
Yes, indeed. I'm saying that universally the computer is not accounting for what the rule is, and I doubt it's a glitch in this particular game. I assume it's true. We just never see this happen that often.
Yep, I think you're right. That would make sense. 1st and goal at the 8. Defense is going to sit in the 4-2-5. My red zone defensive choice. Here's a pitch out to Giovanni Bernard. Going to try to turn that corner. And he does. Bernard into the end zone for the score. Touchdown Bengals as he hits the split roll 2 through 9 for a 15-yard gain on the defensive card on end run and takes that on into the end zone. Bengals jumping on top here Extra point is good by Bullock, and 14-7 is your score.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is that when you hover over the quarterback, it does give you a rushes till next fatigue level that is different than the end run until limit. That contradicts the rules, but at least it's there. So he must have hit that when you
So
hover over
now you have me curious.
Now he's going to have to hover over the quarterback.
Because now I'm going to have to hover over. I'm waiting for a quarterback to pop up because I want to see what you're talking about. Boy, look at those double. We've got a running back and a quarterback.
Oh, at the bottom there. Fatigue
Okay.
Level 2. We missed that. I missed that before.
So the QB end run limit is reached, but that doesn't mean he can't end run. So what happens if he end runs? Is it fatigue level?
It won't give you the option. You can't do it.
And so he literally. So when it says you've reached your limit, you literally cannot end run him.
The key thing there too, when you hovered over, was that he's already on fatigue level.
Hurts is in the game.
Yep.
There you go. Great eye there, Harlan. And just as we've been speculating, early third quarter at the 9:36 mark, Jalen Hurts takes over at quarterback.
And you'll see for Hurts, I think 5 end runs and 11 until fatigue. 12. Good.
There you go. So smart play by Bruce.
I think he had no choice, really, with Wentz being fatigued now. Other than it's going to hurt his passing maybe a little bit. Other than Hurts doesn't throw as many interceptions, he said.
And Hurts going to operate out of the pistol, actually, here. I think that's the first pistol I've seen tonight. 3 wide receiver formation. Long drive for the Bengals on that score. I said long drive, but it wasn't. Did they take over?
Fourth down, the failed fourth down.
Oh, the failed fourth down. That's
fourth
right.
and 1, yeah.
So, yeah, just a 4-play drive of net 41 yards to get that touchdown. Eagles still with a giant advantage in time of possession, 22 minutes to 12 minutes approximately. And here's a sneak. Jalen Hurts going to continue the running tradition at quarterback, and he's through for 15 yards as that goes to the defensive card. And on a 2 through 10, he gets the 15 yards. 1st and 10 now, Eagles at their 38. And if he can keep his quarterbacks running like this, he can stay in this game and fight for the title. As that's over 100 yards rushing for the quarterbacks here, 84 on 15 carries for Carson Wentz and another 15 on the first carry for Hurts. I said over 100. It's actually 99. I stand corrected as my math skills are clearly needing some work. There's a flare pass to Richard Rodgers and incomplete. Rodgers with that excellent card through the middle, but the 8 is the lone hole in that window, and so 2nd down and 10 here. Hurts staying in that pistol in the 3-wide formation. Defense is going to show nickel. Defense is guessing run, and it's an end run to Jalen Hurts. Picks up a yard, which is actually a pretty good result when you're looking at a quarterback's card on right. So 3rd down and 9. A lot of opportunities for lost yardage on that card. Well, maybe not a lot, but some really big losses. -7, -5, and -8.
And 5, 7, and 8 rolls, which, are...
Yeah, right through the middle of the card.
Mm-hmm.
Third and 9 here for the Eagles at their 39. Same 3 wide receiver formation. And on 3rd and 9, he's going to sneak it, go right up the middle, and it's a 5-yard pickup beating that nose tackle. So that's 4th and 4 to 44, and the Eagles are going to choose to punt here. That's a coffin corner punt. It's going to go into the red zone. Could have been a little better. Goes out of bounds at the 17. That's where the Cincinnati Bengals will take over halfway through the 3rd quarter here in Cincinnati. as the Bengals lead the COY final by a score of 14-7. Here's a little pass out to the left, little flat pass to Tyler Boyd. And that's actually going to be a 1-yard loss as he's brought down immediately by Duke Riley. 2nd and 11 now at the 16. Talked a lot about some of the injuries that have been facing the Eagles. Bengals are injury-free for this game.
Hopefully you didn't jinx them there.
We're about to find out. Here's a screen pass to Joe Mixon. And on Mixon's card on receiver, he's going to pick up 4. And that's going to make it a 3rd down and 7 at their own 20. So that opens up some flat opportunities potentially, although the Bengals are also a team kind of lacking in the yard after catch. Now, Giovanni Bernard is an A out of the backfield, and with everybody else looking like D's and C's, that could be an important target here. Here's a short pass, though, to A.J. Green. That's good for 11 and a 1st down. And a personal foul to boot as the Eagles getting a little rough there. Tack on 15 more, and that sends Cincinnati all the way out to their 46-yard line. Joe Burrow on the day, 10 for 12, 89 yards. Good percentage, if not a glorious total. Here's a run at the middle to Samaje Perine. Going into a run defense, but it doesn't matter when you hit the defensive card as he gets that short gain again. Perine running straight through for another 24 yards.
Oof.
Samaje Perine has 2 carries on the game for 23 and 24 yards, both of them on short gain on the defensive card with boxes. And the Bengals are in field goal range already, 1st and 10 at the 30.
Let's see Bruce get desperate here. Send some guys. See what you can do to get him. Keep this a 1-score game. Take some chances.
He runs Perine again, but just for a yard, and it's 2nd and 9. You're talking about
he really needs a turnover or something, or a sack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you look, he's got, zeros up the middle on the defensive line, zeros in the flats, all 4s and 0s in the secondary other than free safety. He's just got a lot stacked against him, and he's just fighting to stay in this game. I have a lot of respect for that. I like challenges like that, and clearly the way Bruce is doing tonight, he's embraced that challenge. But it's an uphill battle. And on 2nd and 9, it's going to be a dump off out to the side from Burrow to Tyler Boyd, and that's going to be incomplete. Got a split roll, needed snake eyes, didn't get it. So 3rd down and 9, and this is a big opportunity for Bruce, guys, if he can stop him here. At the 29-yard line, the Bengals are 2 through 9, but if you were to get another -4 variable at this spot, that drops to a 2 through 6. Field goal here would be huge. I think maybe if I'm Cincinnati in a defensive struggle, I'm not going to look at short or long here. I'm looking at run or dump. Get that field goal, get that 2-score lead.
Showing that blitz really matters here. There's a good chance he's running or going flat, scared of that blitz, and so you got to know that if you're Bruce. Let's see if he's a crafty coach. Is Jeff? Let's see.
It's quick out to sample. He's going to go ahead and target the 0-rated linebacker, and he's got 3 yards on the completion on the defensive card. So it's 4th and 6 at the 26. It's going to be a 2 through 9 field goal, and Randy Bullock's going to try to give him a 2-score lead, and it is good on a 9. It was 2 through 9 good. He hit the 9, so it wasn't good by much. There's a penalty, though. Offsides against Philadelphia, so I presume that'll be declined here. Or was it a 1st down?
Nope.
No, 4th and 6. So he could have taken a 4th and 1 there, guys. He goes ahead and declines the 4th and 1, takes the 3 points. I like the call. What do you guys think on 4th and 1?
I think it'd be crazy to take points off the board in that situation.
Yeah, agree. Bruce was hoping he'd accept that penalty.
I bet he was. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I just think, anytime you have a chance in a defensive game like this to extend to a 10-point lead, you jump all over that feet first. So now a 10-point deficit here for the Eagles. 3:54 remaining here in the third quarter. Eagles starting at their own 25-yard line. Down 10 points, but still leading in this game, 235 yards to 186.
Daring him to throw deep here, 4-3, and there it is.
And there it is. It's a deep ball to Jalen Reagor, but he's forced out of the pocket. He's going to go ahead and run with it. Must run for 5 yards. And that's kind of what I was referring to earlier. You get Jalen Hurts in here, you open up a little bit of the short and long pass, if for no other reason than those must runs are really helpful to get completions. It's another way to get kind of short completions.
Bruce was hoping that was a trend running that 4-3. Now Jeff drops back to the nickel. So
yeah, but you're right. He was smart enough to go ahead and take advantage
bomb
of it.
against the run. Nobody there.
Deep ball, a bad break for the Eagles. Great call as he took advantage of a rare run called by the defense, threw it deep to Deshaun Jackson, and only automatic incompletions on the defensive card were 4 and 5, other than the interception. And he hit one. And so Hurts misses it. He's 0 for 2 to start, and it's 3rd and 5.
I wonder what the odds were of an incomplete pass on that. Jeez.
Well, not a lot of opportunities there to miss it for sure. So I don't know. If you're counting just the defensive side on that roll, I don't know. I would say 20%, less, 18. I'm not intelligent enough to do that. We already saw my math skills at work.
Yeah, I don't know about Hurts's offensive card for that.
3rd and 5 at the 30-yard line. Wonder if we might see a dump pass here. And we do, and it's against another run call defensively. Kind of a surprise to me. Richard Rodgers gets a result of receiver, and that's going to be a 10-yard pickup. Richard Rodgers has, looks like, 8 receptions on flat pass wrong, and every single one of them double digits. And to that end, the 10-yard is really the worst roll he could have gotten, but he'll take it. 1st and 10 now at the 40-yard line as Jalen Hurts completes his first pass of the game. Still in the pistol in the 3 wide receiver, and he's looking to pass. Jalen Reagor's the target. It's incomplete. He rolled an 8 on his card on the quarterback side. Everything above it was either must run or a completion. Hurts now 1 for 4, 2nd down and 10. Wonder if we might see a line buck here, as he's had such good luck running with these quarterbacks. He is in the pistol, so he doesn't have to limit it. And it is a sneak against a pass defense. Hurts right at the middle, and just a 2-yard gain. Was hoping to get the defensive card. He's been seeing it a lot tonight with these quarterbacks on their dives, but not so much that time. 3rd down and 8 now. Philly at their own 42. Jalen Hurts his 5th carry in this game. Bengals bringing out the nickel here on 3rd and 8. 3 wide receivers split out for the Eagles with Richard Rodgers back in the backfield with Jalen Hurts. And it's an end run to the quarterback. Hurts on 3rd and 8. The defense is guessed run, and it goes to the quarterback card. Not a good combination. It's a loss of 8. There's a big penalty, and that's going to be against Cincinnati. So wipe out the 8-yard loss on the play. Mark off a 5-yard penalty and a second shot at 3rd down now at 3rd and 3 for the Eagles at the Philly 47.
And that does not decrement Hurts in his end run either. Wipes that away.
Excellent point, Anthony. Get that run back. Those runs are still precious. Still a 10-point game. Still more than a quarter to go. Big 3rd and 3, and it's going to be a short pass into a pass defense. He's targeting Dallas Goedert, but he's going to have to run with it, and Jalen Hurts around the end finds the 1st down. It's a pickup of 13. And that's going to make it all the way to the 40-yard line of the Bengals. So just like I was talking earlier, you open up those must runs, another opportunity. I wonder if he was kind of excited about, kind of looking forward to getting Hurts in because of that, or because I noticed he did wait until Wentz was fatigued before he brought Hurts in. But that's now 41 yards rushing for Hurts. And here's a defense guessing run, short pass, Dallas Goedert, and it's 15 yards and a first down. A 5 on the white dice beats the defender on a team full of 4s defensively.
No matter how you slice it, it's a victory for Bruce to have the defense be guessing run in these situations. It's a credit to his coaching today.
Yeah, you're right, because I don't know how much I'd call run defensively if I was running Cincinnati. But then again, I was going to say then when they're running like this, but again, can you really count on these quarterbacks to continue to I mean, 125 yards rushing, I think, now for these quarterbacks. Something in that neighborhood, not even fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I'm
a lot of it on line bug.
Not saying Jeff's wrong to do it. I'm just saying that not at all, actually. It's not a reflection on Jeff. It's a very positive reflection on Bruce.
Yeah, because he's picking the right time to call it, among other things. And here's a quick slant on 1st and 10 to Dallas Goedert. There is a linebacker there. That's the only. We've got a snap fumble. It's on the ground. You're right. And let's see who's got it. Oh, the offense gets it. So Bruce gets the recovery, but looks like he's going to try to advance this, but it just goes back 2 more yards. Big loss.
Like the other night in the Super Bowl, Peter was calling run. I mean, quite often, even late in the game with a big lead, and it actually worked out fine for him. But it takes guts.
So here's a big play, guys, as we start the fourth quarter here in Cincinnati. It's 2nd and 21 at the 36. You're down 10. He's got to make sure in these next 2 plays that if he doesn't convert, that he's got himself a manageable field goal range to cut this to 1 score.
Notice there that Hurts' fumble was on a 14 on the 1,000 die. So Wentz would not have fumbled that one.
Interesting.
Yep, good point. And look at this on 2nd and 21. Defense calls run, and it's a short pass. Travis Fulgham, an incomplete. Oh. Terrible break for the Eagles, as on the defensive card, Snake Eyes, he had a split roll opportunity, 2 through 5, 11 and 12, misses it, 3rd and 21. And now, like I said before, Bruce has got to figure out how to get some yardage to protect some field goal opportunities here. Inside the 32, it's a 2 through 9 field goal. And on 3rd and 21, I don't think you're even thinking first down here. It's all about getting you 8 yards or something that secures a good percentage field goal.
It's hard to call a run here if you're Cincy.
But he's going to go ahead and throw short. Bruce, caution into the wind, but it is a must run. And nothing doing there. Sacked on the play. Actually, no gain.
He's got no karma now.
Mike Daniels brings him down. So 4th and 21 at the 36, and it looks like Bruce is going to punt this. What do you think about that?
What's the kicker here?
Yeah, here's a 66-yard punt, technically. So on 4th and 21 at the Cincy 36, Bruce selects a coffin corner punt, gets the Snake Eyes. So, you can't fault him for the roll. That just is bad luck. But at the 36, that was a field goal 2 through 5. And I think knowing you had a potential net of just 16, which is what ended up happening here, I think I'd have tried that 2 through 5 field goal. What do you guys think?
Well, bad luck on the punt roll would have been great luck on the kick roll, the 2.
That's a great point, too. Do you guys think you would have taken that 2 through 5 or chosen that coffin corner?
I think I would have went for the 2 through 5, but I hate to second guess Bruce.
Yeah, when I say that, I'm I guess I'm second guessing, but I'm still sticking to that's what I would do, and just kind of curious,
Right.
I agree. Hindsight. I mean, this is not a hindsight view. I would have definitely kicked it at this point in the game, but.
And on Bruce's end of that, I didn't factor in, of course, if you think about it, it isn't just a net of 16, because if he misses the field goal, you're going to drop back 7 yards beyond that, too. So even better field position for Cincinnati if you miss the field goal. So I didn't really think about that. I still think field goal is probably the right call there. Bengals facing a 3rd and 8 at their own 22. They're sporting a 10-point lead at home in the COY final. Just 12:36 to go here in the fourth quarter. And on 3rd and 8, Burrow's going to look back to pass. He's going to target Alex Erickson, it looks like, but he's flushed. So looking for a second target as he scrambles, and he's got one. That's a 13-yard pickup. Looked like that was out of the backfield.
Ooh, backbreaker.
And it is indeed. Giovanni Bernard converts that play. And just his first catch in this game. But it's out to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bengals. And you're right, Anthony. That's a big first down.
1 yard away from the last scrimmage where Bruce was.
Motion on the Bengals backs him up 5 yards here. It's going to be 1st and 15. Joe Burrow just now going over 100 yards passing in this game. 12 for 15 for 105. Some of these player stats, it's hard to believe it's been such a defensive struggle. Here's a short pass, good for 10 yards, and a personal foul on top of that as the Eagles, for I believe the second straight drive, tack on a 15-yard penalty to a completion by Joe Burrow. And all of a sudden, the Bengals cross midfield. They're 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of Philly. I know, Harlan, you and I were looking at the penalty discrepancy earlier today, and it was mostly a discrepancy of yards rather than total penalties. There's an incomplete pass on 1st down. I want to see here where that penalty is.
There's an injury.
Missed that. Out for the remainder of the game, too. So it looks like both penalties are even now, 6 for 55. And it's Darius Slay. That's a name I know. And that's a corner, I think. And I think I don't remember them having, or is he a safety? Is he the one that is the 5? Let's see here. Darius Slay. No, he's a 4. Left cornerback 4. So that's going to bring another 0 onto the field for the Eagles. 2nd down and 10 here. Here's a square out to A.J. Green. And result of receiver, Snake Eyes gets him 15 yards and a first down as conversion on the play for the Bengals, and another break, possible fumble there for A.J. Green, 50% shot, and he didn't roll it. So retained possession, they get the 15-yard completion, and the Bengals are now 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 30. Joe Burrow very efficient today, 14 of 80 for a $130. And they're averaging 7 yards per run. Kind of surprising they've had as much trouble moving the ball with that kind of efficiency. Here's a quick in pass to Uzama. And just a 3-yard gain, but a penalty. And wipe it off. Motion on the offense again. 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 at the 35. Does that kind of surprise you guys? As much trouble? I mean, the Bengals had 5 first downs for like into the second half. I mean, they struggled offensively. But, you know, like I say, Burrow 14 of 18 for a $130 and 7 yards per rush.
That's
I guess 2 of those big runs were P. Ryan on those plays, but still, I mean, that's part of the formula. Here's a run up the middle to Mixon and nothing doing as the defense called run. Good call by Coach Mogg. Stops at 2nd and 15.
Important series of downs here. You know, even if he hits the field goal, that's okay, sort of. You just don't want him to get a first down and bleed off more clock. You got him in a good spot here, 2nd and 15.
Kind of surprising to see Joe Mixon just 4 carries at this point. And here's a little flat pass, 3-yard gain there. Giovanni Bernard, his second catch. That's going to set up a 3rd and 12 at the 32. So very interesting call here, as 12 yards, a little bit difficult to pick up on a quarterback card. Have to see what Burrow has to offer. You've also got the field goal range that we're right on the fringe of here for Cincinnati. 2 through 6 on the deep range, and here at the 32 and in, 2 through 9. So big play here. We'll see if he wants to play it safe for another field goal, or he's going to play it safe, going a draw into a pass defense. Mixon with the draw, and that's going to be nothing doing. So that's converted it to right, even though he gets past. Was that a 3-wide receiver formation?
Single running back, yeah.
So if it's a single setback formation on a draw on a 1, it converts it to right. Is that correct?
I think so.
Huh. But here's a field goal, and it's up and good.
So
So
2-score game.
20-7 now.
Yeah, defense has to call the run to get the keyed.
They called pass, so I was just surprised the draw converted to right.
Right, because of the one.
That's
rule.
there you go. That's what I was trying to confirm. So the Eagles now need 2 touchdowns to take the lead in this one, as they're down 20-7. There's 8:42 to go here in the fourth quarter of the 2020 Coach of the Year Championship in the USFFL. Jalen Hurts came in for the second half here at quarterback. He's going to run him here around the end, and a 5-yard loss, a bad break, although personal foul on the defense. So he lost 5 on the run, but got 15 and a first down on a personal foul. So Hurts loses one of his carries, but that's a first down. Eagles will take it. They're out to their 35-yard line. Challenge just gets tougher for the Eagles as you're down 2 scores and time is ticking away. Bengals, I don't believe they're known for a big blitz. Maybe you could just, caution into the wind, keep throwing. Here's a run call by the defense on a sneak, quarterback sneak call for Coach Mogg, and sniffed out by the defense. They called run, stuffed it at 2nd and 10. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised at the frequency of the run calls on defense. But, that's also a stylistic thing. I think, Anthony, you said
There's a run call against the bomb.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Long pass wrong as
Nobody
Jeff called run one too many times, and he's got his number. Deshaun Jackson hits it, and that's going to be a 53-yard pickup all the way down to the 12-yard line, if my math is right. And it is 1st and 10. Eagles into the red zone at the 12-yard line. Jalen Hurts hits the 53-yarder to Deshaun Jackson. Jeff says you deserved that. I wonder why he is making that comment.
Because he's hit him a couple times before, and then got a good roll.
Yeah, that's not the first long pass on wrong that Bruce has had as an opportunity.
And that's a blank on Wentz's card.
Wow. Excellent. Appreciate that lookup. Another run call, and it's a flare pass to Richard Rodgers. Excellent opportunity. Result of receiver would be something that he'd love to see, but it's not. +4 with the yak, and it's just going to be 4 yards. So an unfortunate result. He does get the 4 yards. That's nice, but he's now inside the 10-yard line and not that far. 2nd and 6 at the 8-yard line. Flat pass now out of the equation. So I think, guys, we can agree he wanted more out of Richard Rodgers there.
And Hurts steps down from 10 yards on must run to 5 from 6 to 7.
So he actually is worse at must run than Wentz. Is that what I heard you cite there, right? Here's an end run by Jalen Hurts, and the defense is calling run. It goes to the quarterback card, and there's the -7. The big danger of end run quarterback is you're really toast when they call run. And, like I keep saying, Jeff has shown a high frequency of calling run, kind of like Shipley did the other night.
Exactly.
And he's doing it intelligently, as much as it doesn't feel normal to me or whatever, give the man credit. He's done a good job with it. And it's a part of why he's up 20-7 here. 3rd and 13 now after that huge loss.
Back in prime Rodgers range here, and I'm sure Jeff knows that.
That's a great point. Rodgers is the single setback beside Jalen Hurts in the shotgun here. 3 wide receivers split out, and if he doesn't want to attack, but he is going to attack. Short pass to Fulgham is the call. Defense is guessing pass, and he's flushed out of the pocket. Looking to get that 0-man opportunity. He does to the quarterback card, or I should say 13 yards on that 0 opportunity. So on 3rd and 13, he gets the 0-man opportunity on the flush, picks up exactly 13, and the Eagles 1st and goal on a clutch play. 1st and goal at the 2. So Jalen Hurts kind of willing at this possession with that big pass and the 53-yarder to set it up. Eagles on the doorstep now. 6:18 to go still. Plenty of time. 3 timeouts apiece. Touchdown here would make it a 1-score game. And I'm back where I was before, where I'm like, I would run it. And he will. It's an end run to Corey Clement. They were keying the quarterback. Opportunity. Clement around the end. Touchdown Eagles. No flags. And boys, we have a brand new ball game. At the 6-minute mark, it's a 1-score game, and Elliott's going to try to make it a 6-point game with the PAT. And it's good. And the Eagles will be kicking away now, trailing 20-14.
Well, we have a good game, and that's I think we all root for that there. So that's
Definitely.
I have really loved this game. I love defensive struggles. I love seeing anybody that has to fight through adversity like the Eagles have with all the injuries and the limitations on usage. And then also he's fighting back in a fourth quarter. He now has a game on his hands. And I think that when he had those injuries, when he lost Sanders in the first quarter, if you'd have told him that he could be down 6 here with 6 minutes to go, I bet Bruce would have taken that, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the Bengals looking to run some clock here. 1st and 10 at their own 25 to start this drive at the 6-minute mark. They're going to run it up the middle. Samaje Perine pick up a 3 on wrong on his card. 2nd down and 7. I'm anxious to talk to these coaches. It's been an interesting game. And on 2nd and 7, nursing a 6-point lead. Bengals are going to spread out 3 wides. Eagles respond with the nickel. Eagles with zeros in the flats and zeros at corner. Square out attacking that outside linebacker. It's A.J. Green that it's going to, and a pickup of 6. Not quite enough. 3rd down and 1. Straight gain on the QB card. And this is a big play, guys. Bruce has an opportunity on a 3rd down. And when I'm trailing and you need the ball back desperately, I don't care if it's 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 21. I just want a 3rd down opportunity. Give me a shot. And at 3rd and 1, it's maybe an opportunity to really take a risk defensively to try to, isolate the right player, See what he does. Joe Mixon's your tailback.
Up here.
Defense guesses run, but it's a screen. Joe Mixon, open zone in the flat, and a pickup of 13 yards.
That was a big call by Jeff.
Jeff making the right call.
Bruce can feel comforted with the 6 white die there. Wouldn't have been able to prevent it.
And you notice he went to the flat, and, everybody's nervous about the flat late in a 1-score game, and you're holding the lead. But he goes ahead and attacks it and found an open zone.
Yeah, and I guess the way to prevent it would have been doubling up the zones and calling run, but
I call that the penny in both buckets defense. Square in to Tyler Boyd, and he's got 10 more yards and a 1st down. Bengals now across midfield at the 43-yard line of Philadelphia. Just under 4 minutes to go. And, guys, a field goal here. I'm not saying it's a death sentence, but, boy, the Eagles, they've got to keep them out of field goal here. Here's a nickel defense. Bruce thought it was a fake guessing run, but it is indeed a square out in that 3 wide receiver formation. So an opportunity on wrong. A.J. Green picks up 8 yards. And a possible fumble. It is on the ground. Here's an opportunity. There's a scramble, and the Eagles have it. I'll bet he falls on this one. You're not going to advance that, are you? I don't know. Everybody's different. I never want to advance them. But a lot of people do. Let's see what Bruce says. I'm not familiar. He's going for it. Here's the roll. 23-yard return. Bruce, smarter than your average commish, makes the right call, advances that one across midfield. And we got a game, folks. 20-14. Bengals still on top. Bruce fighting, clawing, scratching with 3:36 to go. 1st and 10 at the Cincy 42. Plenty of time. Jeff says now the crowd is awake. I don't know. I think it's a Cincinnati crowd. They probably just sat down. Not really, I guess, with the defenses on the field. Here's a flare pass to Richard Rodgers against a run defense. Another great opportunity for the Eagles offense. Hitting Rodgers at the right time, but it's another +4 yak opportunity and -1 on that. Just a 3-yard pickup.
Penalty.
There is a penalty and personal foul. Am I wrong? I think the last time that happened. Maybe not.
Rodgers is out.
Oh, Richard Rodgers, because as the Eagles have shown all day, one good injury deserves another. Richard Rodgers goes out now. So we're missing the best blitzer, a corner, the best yardage tight end, 2 running backs. But still in the game and fighting for his life. 1st and 10 at the 24 now.
Ertz gives you some deep ball ability, which is nice. He catches it on a couple nice long pass rights. That's the compensation there.
And
nearly as
9.3
effective
average
flats.
overall.
Yeah, but he has some catches.
Another run call, another sideline pass. Jalen Rager's the target. Here's a B yak if he gets that opportunity. And he will. +5, add the yak. And that's going to be a 16-yard pickup as Rager gets the first down inside the 10. And it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. 2:42 to go. A lot of run calls here defensively on this drive. And again, I can't be critical of that, especially in a 1-score game. But I will say that Bruce has, made the right calls. He's been calling pass against it on this drive. We'll see if Jeff wants to stay with the run here. He's showing blitz out of a 4-2-5. 3 wide receivers are split out. There's no running back. Ertz is in the backfield with Hurts, who's in the pistol. Hurts now 7 of 11, 114 yards passing in this game. Here's a short one. He's targeting the end zone. Ertz is the target. Over the middle, it's defender. Touchdown, Eagles. He has come all the way back. This game is tied, and Jake Elliott has a chance to give the Philly Eagles the first lead of the game. 2 through 10, that PAT is good. Snake eyes right down the middle. And with 2:24 to go here in the COY championship, the Eagles, their first lead of the game, 21-20 with 14 fourth-quarter points behind Jalen Hurts.
This will be returned.
Brandon Wilson's going to take it from his goal line. I think it is Brandon Wilson. Snake eyes is a score. And it's just a 20-yard return. He rolls a 10. So 2:06 to go, and Bengals at home, down by 1. 3 timeouts. Giovanni Bernard's going to be your single tailback. 4 wide receivers split out. Eagles going to run from the nickel. Here's a screen.
Correctly.
You're right. Double team by Rodney McLeod, and 2 men in the zone as must have been the safety, I assume, to move into the zone. And so 2nd down and 10, just the possible interception on that defensive card. So 2nd and 10, we're now at the 2-minute warning. Bengals going to stick with their 4 wides. Anthony, did you miss the first quarter of this game?
In and out.
In and out? I'd love to see you take over as much of that post game as you're comfortable. I love what you bring to that.
Happy to contribute.
Super. Here's a button hook. Giovanni Bernard is the target again, and he's doubled again. And incomplete. So, wow, you got to give Bruce credit again. He was making the right calls offensively and now defensively. Back-to-back plays dumped to Giovanni Bernard. He's doubled him both times. And that sets up 3rd and 10, and suddenly Jeff's got himself in a little pickle here. Do you feel like this is a must-short game? I'm sorry, a must-short pass? He does, apparently. Short pass, Tyler Boyd. Sorry, didn't get a chance to get the answer. He's flushed, so we're going to see an opportunity here in the flat. Quarterback card. It's going to be a 6-yard gain, guys. I need to know what you think here. 4th down and 4.
Well, you got
at the
everything open to
26.
you here. You know that he doesn't have very good running cards with Mixon and Bernard and whatnot, but you can get 4 yards many ways here.
But would you consider punting it? Is there any
No.
reason you would punt it?
No, not if it was 4 yards. No, it's a no-brainer. You got to go.
It's funny you say that because I'm considering if I'm in his shoes punting this ball. I've got 3 timeouts left.
There's like a chance of a fumble on a punt return.
Exactly, and it's a turnover-prone offense. Snap fumble is high for Hurts.
If it wasn't 4 yards, guys, but he doesn't have to worry about contain. His whole playbook is open. If I was limited, I would be much more concerned. But he's not limited here.
If I needed a touchdown, I'm with you. But just needing a field goal to win, I would consider punting. But Anthony makes the right call as far as Jeff is concerned. He's going to the 2 tight end formation. Joe Mixon's going to be your tailback. AJ Green, T. Higgins split out wide.
You can get this on a generic off tackle. You can get it any which way. I mean,
and 3-4. This is unusual, right? The Eagles go run 4-3, so he's throwing in the extra linebacker here to guard that flat, right?
Yep. So he's got to put 2 linebackers into the zone to get 1.
Right.
If you're Philly, which is Philly does not have a good defensive card there, and you got the 0. I mean, it's a high probability if it goes to defensive card to convert.
Yeah, you're right. The ratings aren't there. I wonder if he would take back that decision and punt it if he knew he was going to switch to a 3-4. Just a thought.
No, to me, you've got a high percentage running here, just very, very high.
But it's a short pass. The defense is guessing pass. Good call because the flats were doubled, and that's complete. 12-yard completion. That goes to the defensive card, and Joe Burrow continues his efficient passing in this one. Now 21 of 27, and that's a first down to the Cincinnati 38-yard line. 1:37 to go.
Where do they need to get to have a decent chance at a field goal here?
So 2 through 9, I think, is yes. Everything inside the 32-yard line is 2 through 9. He can do a 2 through 6 in the long range, and he can go all the way out to the 38.
That's good. Certainly above average.
He let the clock run there, which I think is the right call. Get it run down.
30 more yards from where they are right now, basically.
Plenty of time. Here's a square in pass over the middle. Alex Erickson's the target. Burrow on his card, +2 and the yak. That's going to be a total 6-yard game, but penalty's going to back him up. So wipe that penalty off, or wipe that play off, as the penalty's going to back him up 5. I think the Cincinnati Bengals have taken over that mantle, and they have now 10 penalties, 95 yards in this game. Still 4 wides for the offense, and the Eagles out of the nickel. Here's a short pass. Tyler Boyd is the target. Defense was double teaming someone else, and it goes to the defensive card. 15 yards, just enough for that first down out to the 48-yard line. A 6-7 roll on the defensive card, and a big first down conversion in this game. 1st and 10 at the 48. Burrow goes over 200 yards passing in this game now. And he's 22 of 28. I think I'd keep throwing this ball. Fletcher Cox is out. Well,
back to Bernard.
I forgot those lines. Yep. You're right. Bernard picks up 8 on a screen pass. That was 0 men on the defensive card. So 2nd and 2 at the Philly 44. 1:22 to go. As the receiver got out of bounds again. 3 timeouts apiece still.
He's got Joe Mixon in there.
Mixon in there as a 3 wide receiver formation. He's the tailback. Inside run. Defense is guessing run. And Mixon on his card. He picks up 3 yards on right. A nice roll. And that's a first down. Move the chains. 1st and 10 at the Philly 41. So this is where Bruce needs to make his stand, because one more first down here, and he's dropping into that 2 through 9 range.
Does he start using some timeouts here shortly?
Yeah, that's a great question, Harlan, and I don't have a fast answer, so we're going to have to see while I think about it. Defense guessing pass. Here's an off tackle to Mixon, and that's a nice 7-yard gain on the defensive card. Sets up a 2nd and 3. It's exactly what Bruce doesn't want.
Yeah, so that does put you in a squeeze play if you're Bruce in terms of timeouts.
Exactly.
It's a tough call right here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Not just the timeout, but now you have to consider,
He's
calling.
probably going to give you the hurry up, if you don't want to use it.
So he didn't take a timeout, and was that a hurry up? Is that right? It is, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
2nd and 3 at the 34. We're now down to 37 seconds left. So, yeah, I don't know. Boy, that's tough. Here's a screen to Mixon. He is double-teamed. Opportunity for a pick, but no. On double team, Joe Mixon grabs it. 6 yards and a first down. Out of bounds at the 28.
Out of bounds.
Burrow is great today.
Not that many ticks left.
No, that's it. 30 seconds left. Now you're in a situation where even if he calls his timeouts, you're still going to give him the field goal opportunity at the end of the game. So you're really just looking for a turnover and a prayer here if you're the Eagles. And at the 28, you would need a variable field goal of 5 to get back to that long range. So runs up the middle for me. Something conservative.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that fumble. I'm not going to throw it, certainly not in the flats. You don't want that fumble chance coming up. Run, get your yards.
The variable field goal, the most you can do is it 4 or 5?
5.
So we're still at the possibility of it kicking you back.
Ooh,
he's going to throw a quick out. There is a man in the zone. It's a 5-yard pickup. I know, bold call there from Jeff, but, he's had a lot of them in this game. He's just, kind of like we talked about with Shibley the other night. I'm going to call my game. I don't really care. And, they're both making it work. 25 of 31 now for Burrow. Amazing. And did he get out of bounds, guys? No, he didn't.
Nope.
So we're getting a decision here.
Timeout defense, I'm sure.
At the 23. So if you go to the 22, that 2-3, it's still just 2 through 9. No, I'm sorry, wrong guy. So, 2 through 9 and 12. So all you're adding is double sixes for another yard. I don't know. I might run it down and kick it. What do you think, guys? He's called timeout, though.
I think if I was Philadelphia, I'd be calling timeout. Because even if he scores with 15 seconds left, maybe you get lucky on a kick return and a lucky long play, and you get back in field goal range.
Yeah, maybe I'd call timeouts if for no other reason than an opportunity for a turnover. Take the first down. Just keep rolling. Here's a full house formation. So I think Jeff is signaling, or I should say signaling, that he is going to be conservative here. And he is. It's a sneak this time to Burrow up the middle. And a 6 on the white dice means 5 yards on the defensive card. So that's another first down to the 18. And a timeout taken there by the Eagles. And from here, it's 2 through 9 and 12. If you get to the 12-yard line, you do get the 2 to 11.
Oh, what a great game this has been.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How worth it? Is that worth it at this point? Like, I wouldn't have been targeted. Like I said before, I wouldn't have targeted getting to the 12-yard line earlier. I'd have been satisfied, I think. But now that I'm at the 18, I might go for that 12. What do you think? 2 through 11 and 2 through 9 and 12.
I'd use my min fumbles guy. I wouldn't be using Burrow, and who's up at 14, and try to get some yards here.
Would you flat pass it here?
No, I would
not in a million years. But I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it. But
I wouldn't either.
Welcome that the flat pass.
Yep.
You can incentivize it.
Yeah, because I would give you the open zone, knowing that just that one chance that you might hit it on my card or your card that you roll and pick, and now I can take it all the way back or something. You
just get the receiver on 8-9. It just increases your fumble chances.
Off tackle to Mixon. He was key on the quarterback, so Mixon with an opportunity here. It's going to pick up 6, and that's going to get him down to the 12. So he's there with the variable. He's there without the variable, but a variable.
Another injury. Is that Eagles?
Malik Jackson injured for the Eagles, and that's another one. Wow, that's a defensive lineman. I think we're getting a field goal here, and we are, guys. 8 seconds to go from the 12.
Here we go.
Should be a 2 through 11 if there's no variable. Randy Bullock lines it up. 2 through. He's got it, but there's a penalty.
Oh.
He hits the field goal, but wipe it away. He's offsides. It backs him up to the 17. He's got to try it again this time. Should be a 2 through 9 and 12. Here it goes, up and good. The Bengals have taken the lead, and with 1 second left in this final,
The onside kick, and that's
home team looks like they're going to walk away with it.
Nice drive, Jeff.
Yeah, it was a gutsy flat pass call down.
Yes,
there.
it was.
Extra field goal odds.
And that's going to do it, folks. This game is over. Your final score from Cincinnati: Bengals 23, Eagles 21, as Jeff Wendlandt wins the 2020 COY championship. That's right.
I think that might be his first COY, as far as I know. But that's
Hopefully
great.
we'll find out.
He's been in the league for a long time.
You know, I just realized what I'm facing here. If Jeff decides to join, I have to talk to a Bengals fan. Actually, Jeff messaged me after the game. I congratulated him. I was happy for him. Like I told you guys, I'm kind of behind the Bengals a little bit. So they're not on yet. I'll try to keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at the stats so we have a little perspective. And so you'll have that as well. Jeff says he'll give it a try. So your Eagles did indeed outgain them 367 to 342. And the Eagles were a perfect 21 of 21, 100% in the red zone. So that's a big helper. 81% red zone, 17 of 21 for Cincinnati.
Good rushing attack for Cincinnati, 5.8 yards per carry.
Yeah. Just
Burrow, 80% of his passes he completed. Wow.
Yeah, he just, like I was telling you earlier, it just kind of felt like, how are they not racking up yards and points? But, you know, Joe Mixon, just 36 yards rushing. Bernard, just 23. And a lot of those passes were short. So, because 25 completions, you know.
But give credit to Bruce for Miles Sanders being out.
Oh, yes. Thank you,
And then,
Harlan. That's so true.
Fletcher Cox being injured, and that was in the first half too, wasn't it?
I think Cox was early third quarter, unless I'm mistaken.
I mean, those were two big injuries, besides already having Boston Scott not available for this week.
Bruce did confirm he's on his way, so I think we'll see him here in a little bit. And let me ask you guys, either you know if Bruce has won or been in a COY final before?
He's been in a final, but I don't know if he's won any. Because I played him when he had the Texans a few years ago. And I won that. It was a close game.
I never know which one of these to pick that's going to show everybody. There it is. I guess that would be it.
Has Bruce always had the Eagles?
No. It
You
was
know,
Ron Dickinson for many years.
Right.
Bruce.
let me ask you: did he have
the
Did Bruce have the Texans when I
Yes.
traded for them?
I
Dennis
don't
made
remember.
reference, and I was aware too, that Dennis and I made a three-way trade that sent his Seahawks back to him and my Chiefs to me originally. But that trade involved the Texans. I just don't remember who was coaching the Texans at that time, and I've been curious if it was Bruce because I know he used to have them.
Yeah.
Do you know who had the Texans back that far?
No.
Because I can't remember when it was Bruce.
I know Ron Dickinson had the Eagles for a long time, but he passed away. He had cancer or something. But he had the Eagles for many years, like from when I started until like 5 or 6 years ago.
So far, no C. Let's see. You know, although let's take a look. Here's my man.
Someone jump in the water.
Bruce is in the house. How are you doing, Bruce?
Good. I'm just corresponding with Jeff. He doesn't know how to get into the
Take your time,
broadcast.
buddy. We'd love to include him if he can. So you take your time.
He's been in before for these.
Yeah, I had him once after a Browns and Bengals game, I think. But we've all been there. What works one day doesn't work another.
Amazing.
That's true.
No
The
effect
glory
on
of
the part.
technology.
Just too far away. This is what I wanted to deploy.
What happens when he clicks the link? I'm curious, Bruce.
I don't know. Sending him a screenshot of where the link is.
Oh, he can't find the link? You could
He
just
just
DM him the link.
Well, he just said, "How do I get in?" And I said, "Go to Slack and the broadcast
Here he is.
tab." He's in. Okay.
Oh, I see him. So, and there he is.
Okay, can you
Jeff
guys hear me?
Wendlet.
All right.
We can. Congratulations,
Dang.
Jeff.
Way
Yeah,
to go.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Anthony, you're
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
man.
I
Talk
didn't
to-
deserve it. I mean, if you talk about coach of the year, you got to give that to Bruce. I mean, he had nothing going in, and he almost pulled that off anyway.
Oh, it might be the mermaid.
Yeah.
So
That
that
was
last drive,
unbelievable.
Jeff.
He has no quarterback. He has no running backs whatsoever. And then he has and he still pulled that thing. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there going, you got to be kidding me.
I was
That
wondering
last
how you're
drive,
going to
Jeff,
contain
you had
Miles Sanders, but
I
When
just real
Sanders
curious
went
that
down,
last
now, I
drive.
didn't- that was
Could you take us
unbelievable.
through that last
Well,
drive?
you know, what's that?
Could you take us through that? I'm sorry. I know the
Oh.
storyline with Sanders, but I'm just that last drive was really impressive. The 4th and 4. First of all, that decision, which was the gateway to the win. How tough was that one?
Well, I tell you, it
In
was
your
real
own
tough
territory.
because Bruce did such a good job at the beginning of that when I threw to Bernard and he double teamed him.
Twice.
And then I thought, okay, I want to go back to him. He won't go there again. And he double teamed him again. I thought, you got it. I said, he's all over me. So then I thought, now I got to come up with something else. And I was afraid. See, we played earlier in the year, and he sacked me just over and over and over again.
Oh,
I thought, I cannot.
that is
This
a
pass
chest of
rush is too
1,000
strong. I've got to go down. I can't go
Stagger
downfield,
around
so I
and
got to have to
drop
chip
while
away
carries.
and try to
That's
do
why
that.
it's sent to you.
But anyway, so yeah, it was, we got a couple lucky rolls there, and I kept thinking if I could just get
Good
close enough, I get that field goal,
Go home.
I could pull this off. And then we got down in tight, and I got a couple good things happening. And then I was trying to get inside the 12, and then of course the penalty. I thought, oh my God, am I going to miss this now and lose this game? But it worked out.
The that call where you end up going short pass on that 4th and 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a
Any-
double.
Was there any thought to punt? Was
I
there
thought
any
he
thought
was-
to punting 4th and 4 on your own 29?
No. I
Nope.
thought I'm gonna go, and I thought I just,
Anything else out there, Noah?
you're talking to me on that.
Yeah, Jeff, I was
Yeah.
just curious. Anthony said he would go for it. I think we would go for it,
Is
but
there
I
anything
was
else out
close.
there?
I was thinking about it. I might have punted in that situation, so I was curious if you gave it any thought at all.
Was it green?
I didn't, and I thought he's going to sit on either a flat pass or a run. So I'm just going to try to go short and see if I get something going. And it worked out. I had a little fortune there, but it did work out. That was a
So
great
what's
game at the end.
And just one more question before we dig into the QB controversy. The key fumble, which opened up the
I'm back.
pathway for Bruce's comeback. Well, the second stage of your comeback, Bruce. Was that ringing in your head on that last drive at all? Throwing flat passes, opening up the possibility of another receiver fumble?
Me,
Okay.
yeah. When AJ fumbled that ball, I thought, oh, that's going to be a real problem. And he just took it right to me. And so, yeah, I was a little bit apprehensive, but I just had to do what I had to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, Bruce, I mean, certainly the storyline and is that injury to Wentz. The injury to Sanders, which gave Wentz
Even though we are right next to
the ball so many times running. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think your quarterback carries had to be over 15, right?
I had to run the crap out of him because like Corey Clement's restricted, so he's a 4-yard per carry guy,
Yeah.
and I had no other choice.
Your timing of going
84
to
yards
Hurts.
rushing.
He had 84 rushing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my
Jalen
goodness.
Hurts added 29. They were your leading rushers.
Yeah.
Were you thinking right then and there that Hurts is in this game at some point in the third?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I feared I would use up Wentz as much as runs as I could, and do what I could with him. But I figured Jalen Hurts is coming in at some point. But I really didn't realize that Wentz was fatigued on that one play. He had the first down, but the fatigue caused him to lose a yard and came up short. I thought, oh shit, what a stupid coaching move that was. Didn't even realize that I was going to lose a yard because he was fatigued. So anyway,
that's tricky.
my bad.
That's tricky.
Is it the third down play or the fourth down play? I'm trying to remember.
It was a third down play.
Okay.
And you'll hear it in the broadcast, but the rules is you read Strat's rules. Your QB is supposed to have unlimited line bucks.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But the computer game, for whatever reason, gives you a fatigue there. Now, Jeff, I mean, it took a while. I imagine it would take any coach a while to figure out. Well, I got to start kind of calling run a little bit here, and and sooner or later, Jeff, you did, and we don't blame you at all. But how surprised are you to be calling run against Carson Wentz in a 3 wide with Ertz in the backfield?
I know it was a funny thing, and and see, especially when Hurts came in, his must run will kill you. So I kept thinking, I'd rather go take my chances that he goes up, it's wrong, and he still doesn't complete the pass. And I kept thinking that he runs around the end. So I thought I'm just going to keep calling run and take my chances and try to keep 4 men in the zone. At least to if it comes up on my card, on a defensive card, I can maybe get a roll. But I was worried about receiver gets wrong, so I wasn't sure. But I thought I'm just going to take my chances and call run. And you saw I was using the 3-3-5 early because I figured I'll just make him run his guys out completely, so he has nobody to run the ball with.
It worked.
Let me, if I can insert a relevant stat to this discussion right now. I did look it up, and in this game, with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott out, the Philadelphia Eagles, 33 passes, 36 runs. 36 runs, Bruce. That's crazy. I would have never guessed that.
I thought Bruce did a great job. I really did. I think he called an excellent game there. He really deserved to win that game. I just was very, yeah, he really did. He did a great job, Bruce.
Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate that.
It's easy to get down on yourself when you're
Very
facing
kind.
that odds, and you did what you're supposed to do. Don't focus on the fact that I've just got dealt a shit hand. How can I fix it? And you just did that the whole game, and we were all really I agree. That's a great point, Jeff. Good job on that.
Dare I say, I mean, I think most of us would agree, unless anybody can think. I mean, that was the best single coaching effort I've seen all season, Bruce. I mean, I thought it was. I
absolutely agree.
I don't have another.
That's why I said it was funny. Coach of the year to me, Coach of the year clearly was Bruce. I mean, he what a job he did in that game because
don't forget Fletcher Cox.
Anybody would be handcuffed, and I'm just playing the odds the whole time, just thinking, I figure he's not going to be able to do this, but he did.
Thank you, guys. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate that a lot because you didn't see my face when Sanders went down. You didn't see me online at that point. I'm like, what the hell?
And
my God.
And sort of the understated side of the story, Bruce, is that you were able to hold the Bengals in for the most part and keep it within reach.
Yeah.
So that your defense against Cincy's offense, down as Harlan just mentioned, down Fletcher Cox. What were you thinking on D to keep this game close?
When I lost Cox, like he was the leading sacker for the team this year, and he matches up well against the guards, and that was tough. So I tried to blitz it in the second half a little bit more because I needed a break. I was hoping for a sack fumble because the fumbles on Burrow's card are pretty nasty on the sack fumble. So that was the only way I figured I was going to get back was to get a fumble. And sure enough, it came late in the game, not on a sack fumble, but on a flat pass fumble, which was just as good. But then when I drove it down, I'm thinking, I'm scoring too early here. I gotta run this a little bit with some line bucks here just to run the clock down. I thought, no, Bruce, don't be stupid. You might be lucky to even score here, given the offense you have. So then I had scored almost right away, and then I thought, oh shit. If you ever get mad scoring a touchdown, I was mad scoring a touchdown.
I said to Burrow,
We've all been there.
I said, Burrow, you know what to do here. I'll just let you call the rest of the plays. I'll sit back and watch. That was
boy. That was a fun game though, Jeff. I had a lot of fun. In spite of the uphill battle, it was made me think. So and you did nail me
that
on
makes
run.
you such a great member of this league, man. Like I say, not everybody has a great attitude when they're dealt a shit hand, and you just embraced it and made the best of it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
And Jeff,
you
you've
did-
had so
Bruce,
much
what you
success.
don't know probably is
that?
last year I was in the game before this, and Dalton went down the first play of the game, so I had no quarterback. And last year, and I couldn't do the job you did. I couldn't stay in that game. I got taken out, and that was the end of that. But you did just a great job.
Yeah, thanks.
And Jeff, you've had when Burrow's in the game. If you look at your stats, I know you know this very well. If Burrow's in the game, you've had so much success on offense this year, and you had him today. But what were your thoughts on offense? Trying to get a lead with that advantage. I mean, you stretched it out to 2 scores, right? At some point, but you couldn't break through. What was the final score, Tim?
Final score of this game was 23-21.
Yeah, you had trouble getting to 20.
When I got up to 17-7, I thought, okay, all I got to do now, basically, I can put this away. And that was on that drive when I think that's when AJ Green fumbled that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point I was thinking, I got this thing pretty much going the way I want to go. Now I'll just kind of run this thing down, chew up some clock, get a little bigger lead, and he didn't have the firepower to come back. And that whole game just turned right there on that dime when that ball fumbled away, and you could just feel it. I thought he was going to come down here, he's going to get this goal. But you're right, Bruce, you scored a little too early. I was kind of glad on that, and it worked out.
Well, you did call a run in some key places. You nailed Hurts on a few end runs there, -7, -5, and nailed him a few times. But then I got my revenge on the long pass to Deshaun Jackson. You called a run on that one. So, but thanks for the compliment. You said you deserved that one. I appreciated that. So,
So I have a question.
Well, I don't know about how you were feeling, but those penalties. Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say the penalties are killing me, and I just kept thinking,
Yeah.
I'm going, it's first and 20, like over and over. But go ahead, Tim, your question.
Yeah, so I just had a question that's just out of curiosity, because while you were talking, just something hit me, and I started thinking about it, and I had to look it up, and I just did. So here's what I was thinking. I was like, Jeff called a lot of run in that game against a team that didn't really have a running back. And so what couldn't compute for me is I was like, thinking about the yearly rankings and how your pass defense was always so awesome. And so you have I just looked it up. You have ended with a 3rd ranked pass defense at just 200 yards allowed per game. Your pass defense ratings aren't that great. Your blitzers aren't that exceptional. And your card defensively says average to poor and looks pretty worse than that. So if you're not calling pass on every down, how are you dominating that way with pass defense? You must be really good at when you're making those calls or something. You have a season-long record of having great pass defense.
I did a lot of good double teaming during the year. I kind of worked out, and you get fortunate rolls. And I just tried to. I played a lot of 3-3-5, I think, the whole season, just to kind of try to keep that passing down. I'd rather a team try to run it and then drain the clock a little bit, because I didn't have it. I knew we didn't have a very good team. So I thought if they're running the ball, it shortens the game up. If I run the ball, it shortens the game. If I can keep it close, maybe I can pull some out. And so I kind of went that way and just sat back on the pass and let people run. Next year will be different. I'm looking forward to that, but
I'll bet you are.
But that's what I tried to do this season, just to go.
I would call it great coaching, because
you're right. That's what
sorry, Jeff, to give you a compliment, but I'm looking at your Stratomatic report. You called run correctly 36% of the time this year on 413 attempts, and that's a very elevated number. So you nailed that, and yeah, you did double team more, and it seems like you just called a really good defense. I know I faced you and lost to you in week 1, and you called a fantastic defensive game, slowing down those Chargers. So it seems to me that you're on top of defensive calls the way Bruce was for those those two plays on your final drive. You seem to have a dialed in year defensively.
Yeah, must have.
Sometimes I don't know if you guys get this, but sometimes you just have this sense of what your opponent's doing. And I thought I sit there and think, it's time to go to so-and-so and I double team him, or I think he's going to, it's just a weird sense you get. And so I had that most of the season on defense. And it's funny, on the offense, I didn't have as much success. But because like I said on that last drive, Bruce was dialed in on everything I was doing. But yeah, I appreciate the compliments. But yeah, it was sometimes on defense you just get this feel and you just go with it.
I suppose it doesn't hurt that you face Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield. And
I was thinking the same thing. I'm trying to find, like, how is he? His pass defense is so amazing. But yeah, you obviously have done a good job, and I'm going to just insert here. I know you probably have more questions. Just congratulations, Jeff. Good for you. Have you? I know we were all asking a little bit ago. Have you been in a COY final before? I know you were on the doorstep last year. You said.
You know what's funny is and it's probably in my attic. I have a trophy from the 1992 year, I think it was, when I won it. I think I had the Colts at that time, and because that was I don't know if you guys were in the league back then, but I had the Colts, and then made it to the playoffs one year, and the guy Joey, I forget his last name, had the Bengals, and he decided to quit. And I told Jason I really wanted to finish out the year with the Colts, do the playoffs, and then take the Bengals. He goes, nope, it's now or never. So in the mid-season, I had to take over, like playoff time. I took over the Bengals, and I actually played Dennis in the Super Bowl. And it came down to the very last play of the game. I had the ball. I was going in. He had the wrong defense. I had the perfect call, and I got the wrong roll, and he won the game. I think that was 92, something like that. So.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize the league has been around
That was a long time ago.
It looks like 2005. We had
I think
Seattle.
and I look at that trophy. Maybe I'm off.
Seattle beat Cincinnati 21-14 in the 2005 season, and that was an undefeated season for Seattle.
Oh, 2005. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. So that's the year it was, 2005. Okay, and that was I had just taken over. I had the Colts that whole year. And then because Jason wouldn't let me finish out and then switch, I had to grab the Bengals then. And you can see I'm a lifelong. We've been Bengals fans for over 50 years.
Wow,
In
that's
fact,
awesome.
This is interesting. We because we've had season tickets for so long, we won the lottery and got Super Bowl tickets this year. And but we didn't.
Wow.
They were pretty expensive. But my sister and I bought them. And then turned around and sold them for $10,000.
Whoa!
What?
It pays to be a Bengals fan.
Holy cow!
What are your plans? What are your plans for this Sunday then, Jeff?
We're having it at our house. In fact, it's funny. I should show you guys the picture. I've got hanging underneath my on the mantle. I've got 4 jerseys hanging there right now, and it's Kenny Anderson, Boomer Esiason, Andy and Carson Palmer. They're all hanging there, but we have been fans for a long, long time.
Fantastic. And this is the equivalent of sort of scoring a touchdown at the end of the half and getting the ball at the third quarter, is that you have this COY win this year, and then you're going to walk into a great team next year.
Really happy for you there.
Yeah, that is a nice double up, as you'll have a really nice squad to work with.
Now Bruce,
for the first time in a long time.
The pressure's on you and me because we're both made the playoffs next year. In real life, our team's made the playoffs, so now that's the minimum. That's the bar now, because my bar's really high. Super Bowl, I don't know if I can take them there, but we'll see.
Well, you sure did a good job winning this one, and obviously congratulations. And Anthony, you're right. I'm glad you mentioned that. We've been talking about it. It's good to see some of these teams that people have had to hold on to, that they're waiting to do good, start to turn some corners. I'm excited for the Bengals in real life. I'm excited for the Bengals in Strato, and kind of excited to get you an opportunity to really play a strong team next year. You've earned that for sure with your time in this league.
Oh, I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will see what I do with him. And you guys, now you guys next year be saying, boy, he had such a good team. He's not very good, is he?
What happened to that pass defense? Yep. Anything else, anybody?
A quest for 4 chests.
No.
It's all fun and games.
Congrats to
It
both.
is indeed. I can't believe it's our last broadcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great game, both of you. Really enjoyed
See you next year, guys.
Yep.
Great tournament too.
Thanks for coming out and joining us for the
Tim.
post game. And thanks for being
You're
here as
welcome.
well,
Great
Harlan.
season.
Thanks
Have
for
a good night,
broadcasting, you guys.
Thank you. You bet. Bye. Why can't I? Oh, there it is. I was trying to get rid of my full screen, and